Alright everyone, this is kind of a funny political video because it's funny to think of the possibility of this happening, and according to some insiders, there is a chance that this will occur. John Kasich is considering the possibility of mounting a primary challenge against Donald Trump. I hope he does. I mean, he wouldn't get any traction. It's not like the Republican Party. Trump would win every state. In order, by the way, for a key to the White House to be robbed from Trump in regards to primary challengers, it has to be a substantial primary challenge. It can't just be, hey, Ross Perot is running again, yeah, or something like that. It has to be someone who's going to get at least some of the vote in the general, cause a little bit of uproar, a little bit of a shift in the party dynamic. Kasich's not that man. Do we really think that John Kasich, state aside, I mean, he's from Ohio. He's from a state that is technically in play, has been for a number of elections. It leans more red now, but it is technically a competitive state. It's sort of like New Mexico, or even, I would say at this point, Nevada, which leans blue now, at least by 3 or 4 points. But it is in play. A strong Republican could take it, just as a strong Democrat could potentially take Ohio, or if you have someone defending the state who is weak. Trump is perceived of as weak by his enemies, but then again he was perceived of as weak in 2016 and he managed to win. In fact, he swept the Rust Belt clean. Kasich, I think, would actually manage to lose. His form of economic neoconservatism is not well received in small-town America anymore. We've got to get used to the fact that the Republicans now are a populist party. There are still some Republicans that have not gotten the memo. If they declare themselves opposed to it, if the party refuses to engage in the economic system being pushed by that populist core at this point, they will continue to lose elections. Now, neoconservatives, they get money from a bunch of globalistic corporations that also back a bunch of Democrats. They don't really care if the Republicans lose the election. They're not part of any party solely. It's like that one billionaire, I think from Ohio actually, I can't remember his name there, that said, well, Obama came to speak and I became a Democrat. You know, Trump is not the future of America. He represents a step backwards. Now I'm going to be... So basically, some dude with $8 billion switches party alignments because he's tired of an economic populist message. Well, no shit. Yeah, populism doesn't do so well for the extremely wealthy. It tends to do well for people whose holdings are only in the country that's becoming populistic, as opposed to people who want to export labor, they want to offshore their income, they want to take part in tax scams like the double Irish whatever it is that got replaced by a bunch of other weird shit. Basically, if you're holding a multinational corporation, yeah, you probably fear Trump. You're probably afraid that he'll manage to actually pass more tax reform so that your younger upstart competitors will be more economically competitive. You're probably worried he'll actually attempt to stop you from censoring your own political opponents within the realm of technology. Oh my goodness, it'd be terrible. I'm economically populistic. Now, populism's not a dirty word. What? So a government should primarily look out for the people within the nation that it represents. You know, that it gets its paychecks from. I'm sorry, I don't see that as bigoted or problematic in any way. I think that if a person does believe that's problematic, then they're out to lunch. Their mind's not working properly. They don't understand politics. They don't understand world history. Some of the purges and pogroms throughout time. But John Kasich, do we really think that he would mount a serious bid? Now, there, of course, jury's still out on whether he bothers to run. Ultimately, if the economy keeps going well and we don't end up in any major conflicts, Trump will cruise to renomination. He'll be unilaterally and completely declared, yes, he's going to be running again. Yes, he's our candidate. Yes, we're behind you, Mr. Trump. And then as soon as he's reelected, which probably will happen, they'll go back to being like never Trump mode. Like they'll all sound like Jeff Flake. Jeff Flake has considered a run. Oh, I hope that he does. It would be very funny to see Trump trash him on a national stage and destroy his reputation. Which is exactly what'll happen. It would take a very, very special kind of Republican to be able to mount a serious primary challenge to him. Not just a joke campaign, some perennial candidate, yeah, I've primaried every incumbent Republican since the 1980s. Okay, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Have your jollies, I guess, in doing so. There are some people that do that. With the Democrats, though, the Democrats have the same problem. Who are they going to put up against Trump? Who's actually capable of beating him? You need to have a platform for that. Good luck. Hillary Clinton couldn't accomplish that. She got sucked into the black hole of Trump says mean thing. She responds. National conversation for a week. None of the platform gets exposed. He's going to do the same thing because it works. It worked before. He'll probably get a more popular vote as well if the economy keeps doing well. Yeah, small town America will return him. There was an article a couple days ago about the Never Trumpers and like, well, are they lost forever? No, of course not. There's a lot of soft never Trumpism as well within the Republican Party. People, they're like Republican, but they believe the shit about Trump is Hitler or something. But a couple of years from now, are they still going to believe that? The Mueller probe is going to release its results at some point, although it's straggling on, raggedy ass mode. It's still straggling along, trying to maintain relevance. Papadopoulos gets ordered to spend his 2 weeks in jail. He was fighting that. It's like, come on, it's 2 weeks. Fucking don't bother. You have to spend 2 weeks of your life in a jail cell. And it's not going to be like a supermax prison sort of situation. You put on the jumpsuit, you get used to shitting in front of another dude for a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's not going to be a summer camp or something, unless you were at a Catholic summer camp maybe. Other than that, yeah, you're fine. You're free to go. You lied to the FBI. Yeah, you probably should serve your 2 weeks. God, his excuse is funny. Oh, I had to look at my boss looking down at me in the FBI office because they have the portrait of Trump, in the FBI office where they're actually interrogating him. So it's very, very funny to see. It's like they should have just given him a fine. Okay, we're giving you a $1,000 fine. You're George Papadopoulos. You're going to get a 7-figure book deal, but it's a slap on the wrist. Punishment. No, John Kasich, he might run. In all honesty, he might make an attempt. I just don't see him getting any traction. And then Jerry Brown is considering, and again, Jeff Flake is considering. But then again, you get this sort of scuttlebutt every year. It's sort of like on the other side where it's like, oh, maybe Bloomberg will run. Maybe Avenatti will join the primaries. Maybe Oprah Winfrey will join. Maybe anyone will run. You don't know who's going to run for the Democratic primaries. And yeah, there will be challengers to Trump. But here's the thing. Because he's the incumbent, he is the presumed nominee of the Republican Party. The economy is moving ahead. Foreign policy he's doing an okay job on. His approval is at least middling. Who's going to challenge him? You'd need to have enough traction to have half the party say, okay, yeah, you're our guy instead of the dude who's already there. We're going to risk shaking up our own party, alienating tens of millions of MAGA fans, looking like a laughingstock, looking weak. We're going to risk all that in order to switch candidates here and have a non-incumbent running against a non-incumbent Democrat. I think it'd be a bad idea. Especially when Trump would immediately wheel around and attack the Republican Party. He'd probably register as a Democrat and say, okay, yeah, I'm rejoining the Democrats because these Republicans don't know how to win. Fuck them. And he would run roughshod. He'd probably mount an independent campaign and say, hey, we can still MAGA. Yeah, fuck the Republicans. What did they ever do to you? For you, all they were doing is standing in my way. I was trying to give you tax reform and shit. Punish them. Millions of people would vote for him, guaranteed. Probably tens of millions. He'd probably have more votes than the Republican nominee would. It would crack the party apart. It'd be funny to have a double paradigm shift. Not going to say that wouldn't be amusing. In fact, I almost hope that it happens because it'd be chaos. It'd be just like if they indicted Trump. It's like, oh, even though that's probably not going to happen, if they did, just think of how great it would be. How funny it would be, because you'd have weeks of nonstop deep state YouTube videos to make. Yeah, the jokes would write themselves. It'd basically be, the Republican Party is being Republicans again. They don't know how to win, and Trump himself warned of this literally years ago. That's about all. Peace out.